Akers.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
And, Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Not a productive opening drive, 3 and out, and more struggles for a team really that hasn't won a game in a long time.
It can be really discouraging for everyone else on the team, especially the guys on the other side of the ball that have to trot out there and see a little more futility in this losing streak. So I know coaches who look at these situations and say to themselves, let's be aggressive. Let's go for it right here and try and turn our fortune around.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return.
And football, 1st and 10.
Seahawks with a 1st and 10. Locke gets ready to go.
At the 34.
Here's Walker to start the drive.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Now, these two teams, you may recall, they didn't play each other till late in the year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in Week 13. And it was the visiting Seahawks who were victorious in that one. So they now look for the sweep here back home in Seattle. They'll get this out wide to Metcalf.
So the completion gets them just a yard. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Block now to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jalen Ramsey.
And the Rams are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now a dump off here complete. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Stafford going to give this to Akers.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a 1st down.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, well, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Stafford's throw, it's complete into the hands of Higbee.
Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10. Down at the 31.
A give up the middle to Akers.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
Slot man moves right. They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the air now with Stafford.
Complete. Jefferson the target. And they're going to be set up now with a ball at the 13-yard line.
Stafford now to throw.
Got an open man finding Jefferson. And the Rams are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams.
Cam Akers, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Rams use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. From the 27, Locke. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw it is Locke. And he fires one that's intercepted.
And the Rams are going to take possession of the football.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And he'll get it inside the 35.
It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the first quarter of play.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right.
Going right back to Akers.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
47 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback or running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week, and he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks, the running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
They'll run here with Akers.
And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Akers fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. And Akers, he is not going to get there. They mark him short of the 1st.
Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the Seahawks able to come up with a goal line stand.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. They fake the handoff, now Locke. He lets it fly for Lockett. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. It's a big play there for Seattle. And even 40 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
The Seahawks at 12-4 now on the year. And they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
From midfield, here's Locke. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Locke. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A good pickup, 17 yards, and also a Rams first down. Stafford. Open man right side is Cup, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Stafford here.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
Again, it's Stafford.
And that one complete downfield to Cup.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the red zone now, Stafford. Open man is Higbee, the tight end.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Gay knocks this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of the half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
And he'll just burrow his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And Locke throws another one. It's intercepted.
Picked off by David Long.
And the Rams are going to take possession of the football.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging, because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach, because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Play action, Stafford.
Looking underneath, he's got Akers. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Open man, he's got Jefferson across the formation.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Gay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important. Walker hit and the ball is out.
And now the Rams have got it going the other way. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason when you're going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either snapping at the ball or the machines? You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it. Touchdown! Tyler Higbee, his 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Rams are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. It's a run with Akers.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles, if they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Rams are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
65 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
The slot man in motion right.
Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford.
He's got Higbee complete right side. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive and help get him on the ground.
They'll go with Akers here up the middle.
And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
2nd and 5 now. Stafford. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, well, they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
He'll drop to throw.
And quickly into the hands of Robinson.
And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Throwing on first down is Locke. And he'll throw this one away, but I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
And this shot downfield on 2nd down is brought in. It's a big play there for Seattle. And even 40 yards. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. Locke going to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Rams are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
It's a gain of 34. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake and it's Stafford. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Quandre Diggs.
And the Rams are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
On the handoff, it's Akers.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show
pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, well, they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. To throw is Stafford.
That's out to the flat for Akers.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
On 4th down, Stafford. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And that 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the 4th quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Play action. Now it's Locke. And his throw here is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They look to throw. It's Locke. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now Locke. Got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And he's got his big tight end here.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
And not much running room. Down to the 32.
Tackled by Darrell Taylor. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Cooper Kupp, his 25th touchdown, tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season.
And the Rams add on to their lead, and they appear poised to break this long losing streak.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it is 28-0. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. To throw again on 2nd down. Lock.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Block it in motion right. Lock gonna go on 4th down. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Rams are going to take possession of the football.
What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. They give it and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
86 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
They'll go again here with Akers.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30.
That one is blown up by Jordan Brooks, the linebacker.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race. But how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
A quick throw caught by Kupp out wide. Down inside the 10.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
On the give, this is Akers.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, obviously, Charles, no more points were needed, but some teams just can't resist the urge to keep adding on, and they did just that here in the 4th quarter.
And we've certainly been on the call to see many teams do exactly that over the years, Brandon. Some to even more impressive degrees. In the end, it always comes back to there's still a defense out there, and it's still a game of NFL football. So if you don't like what's happening, it's up to you to get them stopped.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by David Long.
And the Rams are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw here hauled in by Kupp. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Throwing here, Stafford. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed asleep.
So for L.A.,
they get that important 10th win to finish the regular season at 10-7.
And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better-than-average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And the playoffs will run through their house as they'll get the week off and get set to host a divisional round game in 2 weeks' time.